How's it going, guys? My name is Dave Pallets. I'm a full-time eBay reseller. In this video, I'm showing you guys how I personally do my taxes and how you can pretty much copy this and implement it to how you do your taxes for eBay in about 5 minutes for the entire year. It's really simple. Obviously, if you do it throughout the year, it's even quicker. But yeah, let's get into it. Alright guys, so if you guys learned something in this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. If you're trying to get better on eBay every single day, comment 3 eagle emojis. And if you guys are new, consider subscribing. Alright guys, so right here I got the trusty whiteboard out. My seat is a little low, so pardon me, this is my first time ever using like the whiteboard or anything. My handwriting is terrible, by the way. But yeah guys, so it's pretty much simple. All you're gonna need is a profit and loss statement. That's pretty much what your CPA is gonna require. That's what my CPA required, and it's been working very good, and it's pretty simple. So pretty much back in the day, we all used to have the notion that you have to write how much you paid for each individual item. I sold like 10,000 items last year, so like for me to do each individual item is just gonna be nonsense. Yeah, screw that. There's a much easier way to do that, and I'm gonna show you guys right here. All right guys, so pretty much you're gonna keep track of all your expenses when it comes to the business. And I'm going to be writing down the ones that I have right here. I have my profit and loss for last year, and I'm going to be writing down the things that count as expenses for the business. All right, guys, so that took me about 4 hours to write that right there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to be explaining each one of these and what lies in this category and what I personally do. And I'm not going to be telling you guys exactly what you should be doing. It's different for everyone, what I'm doing. So pretty much, the tax from eBay is what is collected from eBay. That is a write-off right there. So you're going to write the total amount right there. The eBay fees, that's going to be a good amount of what is going to be taken away from you. So you're going to put that. The tax from eBay and the eBay fee is a different thing. So make sure you write them down. They're not the same thing. The cost of goods, the way I determine my cost of goods is by keeping track of all my withdrawals every time I send someone money through Zelle, Cash App, PayPal. Whenever I do something like that, I keep track of all my receipts for the whole year. And what I do is I have a book bag. Every time I withdraw money, I get the receipt, put it in there, put it in there, put it in there, and all that stuff. And I keep a little book with all my withdrawals right there. And that's how I determine my cost of goods. All the money that I spent for the entire year on items, it goes to there. And that's pretty much it. And the way I determine my cost of goods per item is how many items were pretty much listed throughout the whole year and how much I spent. And that's how I determine my cost of goods, I just divide that up. So then the hire of equipment is also something you can write off. If you get a U-Haul or you get a van, anything like that, you put it in hire of equipment. Insurances, I have renter's insurance for the warehouse. I have insurance for my truck, and that's pretty much it. So that I put that there. My motor vehicle, I am doing payments on my truck, or if I were to pay cash, whatever, it goes here on how much I paid for my vehicle, or if I had multiple vehicles. My office supplies. Oh, and also for the motor vehicle, once you have, you don't even need an LLC to do any of this. I did this all as a sole proprietary up until this 2023. So all this, you don't need a business, LLC or anything like that to be able to write off your motor vehicle. I believe you could do that either way because you're moving in it, you're buying items in it, and you're dropping off packages in it. So that qualifies as a write-off. And I believe so. I'm not a CPA, but that's what I was told, and that's what I've been doing. And then right here we have office supplies. Anytime you buy pens, paper, actually like all my labels, bubble wrap, I put it underneath office supplies because that's all pretty much for the office. If I buy a desk, if I buy like a rack, whatever I buy for like the office, the warehouse, I put it under as office supplies. There's no need to put a warehouse supplies under it. I'm just gonna put it all as office supplies. And that was a good chunk. I think I spent like $12,000 on office supplies last year alone. So the postage and printing is going to be on eBay and all your total expenses. And you can just put that on there as well. That's a write-off. And then the rent for your warehouse, let's say if you're paying $1,000 a month, $12,000, or $2,000 a month, $2,000, $500 a month, $6,000. Wherever it is, you put that down. Also, I was able to write off one of my offices at my house. I have a whole section for an office, And what I did, I think it was 25% of what I paid for rent. I wrote that off for the whole year and the warehouse. So I added both those up, and that's how I came up with the number for rent. Fuel, the easiest way to do it. The way I came up with the cost of goods and the fuel, I had Bank of America, and the way I did it on there is I put how much money did I spend on fuel, and it gave me a total number, right? And that's how much I wrote off. And it's pretty accurate, you know, because it's the Bank of America app for the whole year. And then the cost of goods, I put how much money did I withdraw from my ATM checking account, whatever, because I never even had a business account. But I pretty much put how much money did I withdraw the entire year, and it gave me an amount. And then I added up, you know, the Cash Apps and the PayPal and the Zelle transactions. So, and I do keep the receipts just in case, you know, something ever happens, but there's a record on it in my bank statements and all that stuff. So if you have like a commercial bank or like Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, I believe you can just search it up. Bank of America has that Erica thing where you can ask it a question. Most apps have a thing where you can ask it a question. It'll tell you how much you spent on this and that. So fuel, I did that, and also food. I put on there how much money did I spend on food all year, and it gave me a number, and my tax guy said I can just do half of that. So I think I spent like $6,000 on food, and I just put $3,500 on as a write-off. Most of the time I'm actually working, so most of the time I can actually write it off, but I didn't want to be that guy to just write off just to write off, so I just put $3,500 just to play it safe, 50%. I think that's the best way to go about it. And then subscriptions and Wi-Fi, I just paid like $100 for Wi-Fi, and then I wrote off the one for the house as well. For each one of them was $100, so that's $200. And then the subscriptions, the only subscription I have that's for the business is my ADT security system. That's like $60 a month, so that goes all under here. And then my cell phone, you know, like $50 a month. And then my wages. So if I had a lot of wages last year because I had a virtual assistant, which I don't use anymore. But whatever I paid to him, or when I hired people for Fiverr to do stuff, or you just have someone coming in here and there, like a little contractor, you would put it under wages, not actually like an employee, because and I did this all as a sole proprietary, so you don't need an LLC for all this. And basically all this number right here, all these expenses go to total expenses. And then that equals that. What was your total income for the whole year? You write that down, you just subtract it, and that's your profit. It's literally that simple. And the best way to keep track of all this is, you know, just keeping the receipts for the office supplies whenever you buy something. And it's really easy if you buy something on Amazon or eBay, because it'll keep track of it for like over a year. And you can just go down the list on what you spent on what, and just keep adding it up, adding it up. I came up with all these numbers for last year's taxes in one night, like literally like 2 hours. I was just looking at everything. I just really crunched all the numbers. But now that I know how to do it, now that I keep track of it, you know, month by month, now I actually have an accountant. So every month I give them all my stuff and they're doing it for me. But if you're keeping track of this month by month, and you just write down the total of each one of these, and you keep adding it up, at the end of the year, it's going to literally take you 5 minutes to add it all up. So that's why it was 5 minutes of how to do your taxes. Back in the day, people used to complicate it so much by doing the line by line. There's no need to do that anymore. This is the easiest way. You know, there's more things that you can probably write off. For me personally, this is the only things I need. And that's it. Everyone has different numbers that are going to be going on here. I'm not going to be sharing mine. I'm not comfortable with sharing my numbers, but this is how I do my taxes exactly. And all I did was I added this in a documents, Google Doc, all this on the left, numbers on the right, and then I just put, you know, total expenses at the bottom, and then total income, subtract it, and that was it. That was the total number. So yeah, guys, I'm glad I finally did this video. I don't know if I did a great job on it, and hopefully I, you know, help some people out so that they know not to be scared of when it comes to that. You should be scared when it comes to paying the taxes, because that's going to be, let's say if you make $60,000 profit, I know for a fact you're going to pay about $14,000. It's somewhere like that, because that's how much I paid like my first year, second year, when it comes to like the profit. So, you know, when you're a sole proprietary in an LLC, you're going to be paying the most tax out of everyone. Right now, I am actually incorporated now. So a lot of money is going to be allocated into assets. So my tax rate is going to be much lower. But this is when you pay the most taxes, because you're basically a high earning employee for your own business. But yeah, that's how you do it. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys learned something. If you guys learned something, Please drop a like, consider subscribing, and I'm going to catch you guys later.